Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to change the axle oil in your boat trailer. This trailer is equipped with TURBO LUBE wet lube bearings. So you don't grease them, there's actually oil inside of the bearings to keep them lubricated. It's super important to keep your boat trailer axles lubricated because it's probably one of the most neglected things. Have you ever seen that boat trailer pulled off the highway with the wheel out in the ditch? That's because everyone forgets to check them or they neglect them. But the wheel bearings on your boat trailer are probably the most important component. I've seen a few videos on YouTube on how to do this, but like most videos they say just take this off, but it doesn't really cover how to take it off. What you have to do is remove these plastic caps to drain the oil out of the hub. So I have lifted this side of the trailer. I jacked it up by the equalizer, and of course I have a jack stand under each axle. I use my DeWalt electric impact to take the lug nuts off. I actually have the wheels outside. I'm going to steam clean them really good on the inside while they're off. So what I did is put my crowbar on the floor and grab two lug nuts like that. Then I have this large pair of channel locks that I'll grab the hub cover right there and spin it off. With the crowbar in place, braced on the floor, grabbing those two lug nuts, I have the channel locks on the flat spots. They're pretty tight, so just turn like that until you can get it off with your hands. Make sure you have your drain pan underneath ready to go, because fluid is going to come out as soon as you take that off. There's not a lot of fluid in there, but I usually take this cap and set it in the drain pan like that and let this drain for about a half an hour. While you have the wheels off, now is a good time to inspect the brakes. 401's boats usually put disc brakes on both axles on their trailers, and this trailer has surge brakes, so it's a good setup. Keeps the brakes working and adjusted pretty well. It stops really good. This is a 24-foot boat, and it weighs about 4,100 pounds with the trailer, I believe. But you can't even tell it's back there when you're pulling. It's got disc brake pads and calipers and rotors. It's basically like a car setup. So take this opportunity to inspect the brakes. Then I always look at the shackles here. You want to make sure there's no slop from the bolt to the link, because the spring should pivot on the bushing and the bolt. But what happens a lot of times is this bolt will end up pivoting in this link here, and it wears out the link. There's plastic bushings in the end of the spring, and in each one of these pivot points, you can replace them, but then you have to get the bolts. These bolts are serrated, they're not supposed to turn. But what I always do is take a tack weld right there, there, and there to hold the bolts from turning. And then if you ever have to take them apart, you can still take the nuts off from the inside and pull this whole link kit out to replace it. But basically you just want to move them up and down and see if there's any play in there. Like I said, this is a good time to check all that out. Once I was done draining the fluid, I put the caps back on, and then I took and cleaned them up really good with some brake clean while the wheels were off, and hit it with some gloss black spray paint just to kind of cover the rust and protect it. That looks a little bit better there. Kind of cleans it up. And then when we're all done, pop these rubber plugs out with a pair of needle nose pliers, and then you just put your lubricant in there. They recommend no less than a 50 weight, no more than a 90 weight. I use Royal Purple 7590 synthetic rear end gear lube. That works pretty good in these axles as well. I recommend changing these annually. Just like if you had bearings, you would pump grease into them probably a couple times a year. It's important to keep the lubrication properties at their best so you don't end up one of those guys along the highway. Thanks for watching. Message me if you have any questions. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. See ya.